Welcome to the part 8 of creating a bookstore with Claude Fable 5. We will create a new feature which is the ownership of a book from a user. That means that when a user buys a book, it will be added to a new table. And in this new table, it will be the relation between the user and the book. So they will see that they have purchased the book. Also, a date time will be added, so the user will know when it purchased it. This also supports the feature of gifting a book, or I can add a book to whatever I want, to my friends or to the readers or the viewers. So, okay, so it is developing. It's asking me for permissions. A great amount of time of the things that it's doing is testing that what has been done is correctly, and it tests inside the Docker container that I have running. I'm now preparing another query because I didn't think about it. So I want to update the commands that create the database for the first time. So now it's testing, and it's testing like a web user will do. It's taking in account the CSRF of security. It's testing that the web pages are returning the expected result. So the tests for web are really nice. It inserts in the database temporary registers like a new user. This way it doesn't have to know the password of any user. It just creates a new user with a password that it knows. And then later it removes. So now I'm launching the second request to update the documentation and the commands, and it's doing it. As you have seen, I have lowered the effort too low because these are well-known tasks, very easy, and I wanted it to be faster. So now I'm asking for a file, a shell file, that will read the PHP environment user and password and credentials, and will connect to MySQL. This way I can execute the file from the shell inside the Docker container, and it will connect me to the database. So I don't have to worry about showing any password. Just running this script. It reads from PHP environment files, and it logs me in. Showing tables. I'm doing desk of the new user table, and you can see the date time and then a compound primary key formed by the user ID and the book ID. The book IDs are numeric, which is not perfect, but it works. So I have to insert the date time both, or the date time that the user started having this book in their ownership, then the ID user, which is a varchar, and the ID of the book. So I did the insert the fast way. It returned an error, so I assume that it has an error in my query. So I did the long way, and it returned the error. The thing is that I have not read the screen properly, because what was telling is that the foreign key was not satisfied. So in other words, that the book with ID 1 did not exist on the table books. And that's because in my tests I created and deleted books, so the first ID is 31. That's something that Cloud Code discovered perfectly, and it's clever enough to to point this to me. So I have to do the same insert but with the ID of book, 31 or 32 or 33, whatever. So I just run this and it works. I add another one. So I will see 2 books as purchased from me. I go to the home and there are those 2, purchased and the date time when I purchased it. Inside the view of the book also it displays that I purchased the book, but I check in the technical books in the category page is not displayed. So, and in the subcategory pages are not displayed as well. So I will ask for this addition. I continue with Fable 5 in effort low and it will work perfectly for me and faster. And it's creating it. It checks for the language as well as it did with the subcategories. So it will run this command on my Docker container in order to test the functionality. Now it's deleting the user that has creating. So it adds what we used to use as fixtures for doing unit testing. Now it does it automatically. It creates a user, adds a relation, so it appears as purchased and deletes the data that inserted on the database. And I'm verifying that everything is okay. Subcategories also work. And here you can see the usage. 30% resets in 3 hours, and I have used weekly 3% resets in 2 days.